Today we've got a new concept. We've got a new one. We've got a new shenanigan to add to our collection. It's called RAM raiding. So we've got RAM raiding and crash and grab. I want to say cash and grab. Take some cash and grab some stuff, like buying it, but instead this is crash your vehicle and then grab the stuff and take it out. RAM raiding. It's a new violent burglary trend targeting brick and mortar businesses. That's not good. Let's get into it. Here we go. All right, so this crime involves crashing a stolen vehicle through a storefront. This is Missouri teens caught on video crashing into gun store, looting handguns. Let's see what that looks like. Here we go. Boom! You can see it just hitting that window, that storefront. And then just a whole bunch of them. Hey, they came prepared with bags. Okay. These guys brought bags so that they can haul stuff out. All right, there's one of their other buddies with the backpack on. They're all going to go in. Nice job committing felonies, guys. Multiple felonies there. Okay, there's what it looks like from the inside. Horrific. Imagine that hitting your home. Yeah. All right, there's a top-down view. The car just kind of coming in and yeah. It's nuts. It's absolutely out of control nuts. Invariably, you guys, you kind of get the picture. I mean, this is all footage from that encounter. Here they are running through. I mean, it's just, okay, grabbing more stuff. We get it. They're robbing the store blind is what's going on, right? You've crashed into the store. Now you're going to rob it blind. I mean, just the whole thing is just so outside of reasonable. A group of thieves in a stolen pickup truck slammed into the front of a Seattle boutique shop. Now we're up to Seattle, right? Missouri to Seattle. For vintage and collectible clothing called Rush Hour last week, shattering the front window and running inside to steal their stock. I must have been traveling when that happened. I don't remember seeing that story, but that's a good one. All was not lost, according to the owners, who in an Instagram video said they hope to recoup some of their losses on the busiest shopping day of the year. Oh, it was Black Friday. Literally happened on Black Friday with value items that had not been stolen. All right, so we can sell them later. 3 days after they posted the video, so there must have been Sunday, the thieves returned, this time crashing through the storefront with a minivan before pilfering high-ticket items left behind in the first break-in. You got 2 break-ins since Black Friday. I mean, that's insanity. But, why wouldn't we have this? You've created a situation where you don't have enough cops to go around. And even if you do bust these criminals, they're probably all underage, right? Oftentimes they are, because they know that the minors aren't going to face any, hey, you've been a bad boy. We need you to get down that straight and narrow road. You can do better. We believe in you. We'll release you out in the wild. I'm sure it'll all work out fine. So many times you've got minors doing this because they know that nothing's going to happen to them. So even if you do have an adult do this in Seattle, we just don't have the legal system to really do anything effectively. And the cops are so hamstrung in doing what they do, which is, going after criminals and whatnot. Because if somebody books it on a high-speed chase, basically, we got to fall back. There's none of that chasing. Chasing shoplifters out of the store. No, we're not doing that. How about down in Sacramento? The sheriff, he's being called in to Target on some of these shoplifting, organized retail theft shoplifting deals. And Target is telling him, hey, would you mind not arresting people in the store? Because the look isn't good. It's not a good look. We don't want to have that. Would you mind just, escorting them, not handcuffed, which, hey, I'm just going to grab you by the arm and escort you out here. And then I'm going to arrest you. And, your life's going to, go down some tough roads. Maybe not. But literally, a sheriff is being dictated by Target, who makes the 911 call, that they would not like to have any arrests be done in the store. If you could just do that out back, that'd be great. We got it. So there's this whole thing where you've got all this criminal activity going on. and very little to stop it. You don't have enough cops in these cities, period. And even if you did and you arrested all these folks, what's going to happen? Are they going to be prosecuted? Are they going to do any time? No, because we're just not doing that anymore, right? We've gone down all these roads. You got escalating crime and inability to handle it. You just don't have the ability to push back. Man, that is horrible. Look at this door frame. The aluminum door frame is on top of the car, for those of you who can't see this. This is a store. Picture a car bashing into a store and ending up almost all the way inside. The only thing that's not inside the store is probably a little bit of the trunk. And the aluminum frame of the door, the entrance door to the store, all the glass is bashed out, and it is literally sitting up on top of the vehicle. And these are stolen vehicles because, again, you steal a car? It's just not that big of a deal. Any of this, the goods that you steal, it's fair game. It's just fair game. And these numbers are going up. These numbers are going up to the point where we've got crime in the retail world makes for not so happy holiday shopping season for big corporate. But so many on the far left are saying, well, F big corporate. We're going to bash out some windows at Starbucks because, we support Palestine, and then go ahead and take what you need from big corporate because, it doesn't trickle down to the consumer. Target doesn't just increase their prices, do they? Oh, they do? That's a problem then. And then if they have smaller stores that aren't performing as well, and you got a lot of shoplifting activity going on, and you've got some violent interactions with all the crazy addicted people that we have out on the streets now, if you have that happen, what does Target do? Yeah, they close down the store. Yeah. So now your community doesn't have a Target. Yeah. It's an example of crime wave targeting brick and mortar stores around the country. Talking ram and raid. The crime referred to as ram raiding and also crash and grab. Crash and grab is a tougher one to say. I don't know why. Because I think I just want to say cash and grab. Is that a store or something? It's something along those lines. Cash and carry, I think, is the store in Seattle. Depending on where it happens. This is a bit like Bipping. I had the privilege of sharing what Bipping was with my father because we were parking here in Oklahoma and Oklahoma City. We were parking out in front of a Dick's drive-in. Total suburbia. There's not a lot of craziness going on. But I did point out to my dad yesterday that, hey, a little Bipping action happened. We're at a park. Somebody had their window bashed out. It happens here in Oklahoma City, too. Even though it's pretty red here. Even the clay soil is red. Pointed out to my dad, that's Bipping, break-in in progress. Or somebody, their window just miraculously exploded. But no, we've got all these terms now for this craziness going on. So we're at Dick's, not Dick's Drive-In, that's a Seattle thing, but we're at Dick's, and my dad's like, got your computer in the car. He'd pick me up in my hotel room here. Why don't we just park the car? It's a big, huge suburban parking lot. Why don't we just park the car right in front of the store and we can kind of keep an eye on it looking out the window? We did that. It's been absolutely fine. But yeah, you've got some bipping going on down here in Oklahoma City, as you do everywhere. As you do everywhere. Oklahoma City did not defund their police department. Interesting. And as a result, they just don't have the homelessness. I've talked about this a bunch. They just flat don't tolerate the homelessness. Plus, this would be a miserable climate to be homeless in. Super cold in the winter, hot as Hades during the summer. No real in-betweens. You got a little bit of spring and a little bit of fall, but they're far and few between. It'd be a tough place to be homeless here. Wall Street Journal highlighted the issue over the weekend, calling them drive-through burglaries. Well, yeah, but they're not going all the way through. They're just bashing in. They're ramming, right? They're ramming in. Targets have ranged from small boutiques like Rush Hour to luxury outlets and big box chains. We've seen that repeatedly, right? So here's a security camera of that vehicle coming in on that Osage County guns in, Missouri. A juvenile driver slammed a stolen car through the steel doors at Osage County guns in Wright City, Missouri. I mean, this is just nuts, getting out of control. Seattle Police Department has been seeing this type of tactic of utilizing a vehicle to ram a business entry in order to steal merchandise from within, occurring multiple incidents. It's unknown if these incidents are related. Now, where we first started seeing it in Seattle was, and this is, I'm going off my recollection here, is we started seeing it in the dispensaries, because the dispensaries have some pretty heavy duty front door systems, right? Like they lock down hard. And even harder now after so much of these RAM raiding has taken place. And then you also see RAM raiding in like your CVS and your Target stores, where you'll see somebody drive a vehicle through the big double sliding glass doors. You'll see somebody drive through there, and then they will haul out, they will drag out the ATM machine. So you're creating a opening big enough to haul that ATM machine. And, you know, you're a cadre of your fellow brethren, your comrades coming in to empty out the store for said merchandise. The crimes tend to occur in the early morning hours, leaving shopkeepers showing up to work to find devastating damage. This is horrible. I do not remember, as a kid, I do not remember this being a thing. I remember this being a thing basically in more recent years, and more recently since the pandemic. You know, it's like that crime switch. It wasn't ever off. It was just like on from mild to high. We just flipped that switch and we just let her rip. So yeah, the early morning hours, because when you crash a car into a store, it's going to create some sound effects, right? It's going to be a little bit of a, what was that? That sounded like a car crashing into a store. Yep, a little bit of RAM raiding going on. Last Wednesday, a crew hit an Oakland, California Trader Joe's store. My beloved Trader Joe's. That's not good. Trader Joe's store around 4 a.m., San Francisco Times reported. That's interesting. I have not heard of many Trader Joe's being hit, because they just don't have, I mean, yeah, you could go in and steal some meat and stuff like that. I mean, some laundry detergent. But Trader Joe's is typically not where you see these RAM raiding events go on. A group of 5 or 6 suspects hit a marijuana shop in Seattle around 2 a.m. Tuesday. That's standard. That's just standard stuff. The chain's vice president told the outlet that the state should protect her businesses, which had been robbed 3 times in 10 days. Yeah, this stuff is out of control. You know, it just is. This is just what's going on. But this is because we've allowed it to happen this way. This didn't just happen. This didn't just, hey, one day we've got bipping, we've got RAM raiding, we've got, you know, dash and grab. What is it again? Yeah. You know, we elected officials into office. We elected laws onto the books. We voted in laws on the books that basically just, we thought we were being so liberal and progressive, and now here we sit. Oh, good Lord, this isn't going the right way. The tax revenue that we produce across the state, talking about marijuana dispensaries being RAM raided, the tax revenue we produce across the state should be used in some sort of a security system. Diane Walter told the station. I mean, I hear what she's saying. Marijuana stores create an incredible amount of revenue to the state. Just, I mean, some of the dispensaries will literally put on the packaging. I've read this. They will put on the packaging 39%, 49% of the cost of this product is Washington state sales tax. You're like, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. But, you know, protecting stores from RAM raiding, I mean, yeah, no, this is basic public safety, isn't it? Dockside Cannabis, another Seattle pot chain, has been hit more than 6 times this year, according to the station. Now, some of the issue you got there is that there's massive amounts of cash at these recreational dispensaries because they can't interact with the federal banking system. Weed is still illegal on the federal system. So anything FDIC related? Yeah, not so much. So criminals know, and that's where we've seen a lot of this activity take place. A lot of this RAM raiding, initially happen. In late October, a man in a stolen Jeep slammed rammed into a clothing store around 5 a.m. and 4 others rushed inside to steal merchandise, Chicago reported. The defiant owner in an Instagram video said he was offering free Nike sneakers to the first customer to show up after the break-in. Come on down. I'll hook you up. We're not going to little RAM rating impact our store. 'Tis the season. We got to sell some stuff here. Unfortunately, today we woke up with a effing Jeep inside our store, he said. But you know how we roll here. That S don't stop us. All right. That's a positive glass half full approach to having your store just turned upside down. At Osage County Guns in the suburbs of St. Louis, that's the one that we just saw, that caused more than $200,000 in damage, that car going through. And they stole more than 30 guns worth a combined 28 grand. I mean, how easy can you sell those guns for? It was a total nightmare, he told Fox News Digital. Our retail store was closed for 5 weeks. And surprisingly, the biggest hurdle was getting new doors because you got a supply chain issue still going on with a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, it's coming from a slow boat from China. We can't quite get it. Now, we still got some of that lingering back there, and getting glass and getting repair technicians and getting the stuff to your store. In the meantime, if you can't open up your doors, guess what? You're closed. Cerrado. Right? Just, not open for business. And this is the biggest, this is the holiday season. This is retail shoppers. This is their season. This is what makes or breaks their business for the year, right? If they sell a bunch of stuff at the end of the year, sell a bunch of stuff to people who don't need the stuff that they don't need. Yeah. All right. Dawson said he was worried about a lack of political will to properly prosecute these crimes. None of the suspects who entered his store were older than 17, he said. So let's talk about this. You'll see AOC come on on the news and say, well, these are people suffering economically because they, don't have the bread they need. So they go into a store and they steal that loaf of bread. Well, here's a little comment that puts a little spin on this. You only steal what you can sell, said Paul Mauro, a retired New York Police Department inspector who recently wrote a Fox News Digital op-ed about rising property crimes. These kids don't need 30 guns, talking about the Missouri ram raiding incident. They're going to be looking to fence it. That's what this is about. This is not about stealing a loaf of bread. No, this is way beyond that. This is crime of opportunity, and crime does pay. In San Francisco right now, they are closing up our beloved bacon-wrapped hot dog vendors and all the other illegal vendors that are out there because they're trying to get at kind of the whole chain of from ram raiding down to when that stolen goods gets sold. And somebody makes some cash from it, and then they go out and, buy their next hit, their next fix, whatever it might be. Pay for their groceries through stolen goods, right? One of my neighbors has a sticker on their truck that says, dirty hands, clean money. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if they're some kind of welder, mechanic, or whatever, but yeah, you get the picture. We are not, these ram raiding incidents are not what AOC is describing, which is a crime of need. They need that loaf of bread. Well, 17-year-olds don't need 30 handguns, do they? Yeah, not so much. And to ram a car into said business, how out of control is that? Yeah, it's wildly out of control. There's another picture of that. Yeah, that's about it. So when you recognize an entire criminal justice system without any input from the enforcement side, you're going to get this kind of outcome, he told Fox News Digital. It's so true. It's so true. Yeah, it's the far left and the left saying, well, we've been abusive towards this group of people. So moving forward, we're just going to kind of let everything go, and that'll help all the statistics. But we'll just see how this goes. We'll just, decriminalize everything and, make everything a misdemeanor. There's no more felonies for anything anymore. This should help people out a lot. Huh. Crime is escalating at record numbers. Organized retail theft, it's going through the roof. Yeah. Who thought? Who imagined, right? Yeah, it's crazy time, right? All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. I will catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.